good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're hearing me from. Welcome once again to catch up with the Designery. My name is Kutaj Baba. That's actually my nickname. And here I have Raphael, my co-host. So we're glad to have you here. Today we have a lot of goodies for you. And as you already know, catch up is an opportunity where we get to interact with our audience, share resources, talk about what's happening in the design space, and also, of course, to share our knowledge and experience with you. All right, so Raphael, I don't know, do you want to go first? So we have a couple of things to share with you today. We're going to start with resources we have. So Raphael, what do you have for our audience or followers today?
Hey, hi guys. First of all, great to be here another week. Time to really to discuss about like what's what we noticed throughout and just basically just yeah. So today we're talking about like a couple of good resources that we saw. Uh, for me, one thing that I really wanted to share because it's been I've been working closely with design systems a lot lately, and there's a particular tutorial that really helped me, and it's called Design Systems Build a Design System, right? And it's by the UI Collective. That's that's probably one of the most properly detailed um, tutorial about design systems I've come across. And it's actually insane to me that they made it totally free because they broke it down into like all the layers you need. Now it's a total of about 9 episodes. It's on YouTube. It's for free. It's free. You can go and watch it now. It's on UI Collective's channel. Um, it's Build a Design System, right? It's a full course. So it's 9 episodes, and each episode is about an hour long. You know you have good stuff when it's very long. I think that it was the time that we were talking about this thing about how anytime you see a YouTube tutorial, if it's not about an hour plus long, you know that there's a lot of details, right? So yeah, like it's really detailed. It starts breaking down from you know, building your creating your primitives, creating design tokens, how you do your styles, how you're going to create them using and everything. Also deals with all the Figma updates, like
So
using
do you want to
variable.
share your screen?
Oh yeah, let me share my screen. Although I'm going to be showing
Yeah, then
what's it
you
called
just drop a link to the
YouTube. Let's
resource so
see.
you can.
Uh, Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, I see your screen.
Yeah, so this is it. This is their channel. They have a lot of other good stuff there. So this is a huge shout out to them. They have really interesting stuff, setting up design systems. I like how they really focus on setting up design systems. I think that's one of their core services that they render, building design systems for companies. So this was really interesting for me. I think they've started going down into designing, mobile stuff, mobile UI, and just how they go about designing UI. So that's actually really interesting. You guys check out our channel. It's called is UI Collective, and I learned a lot of stuff from there. For the design system, let me see if I can drop it down. I don't know if anybody's going to be here, but I'm just going to drop the link.
So just drop the link. Drop it in the chat here. I'm going to pick it up and I'll drop it on our LinkedIn and YouTube
Okay.
comment. I don't know if you
Cool.
drop it here
Yeah.
on design. What's it called? Riverside. If it's going to go there now, not sure. But I'm going to paste it on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Yeah. So thank you, Raphael. So guys, if you want to learn about design systems, right? So personally, I've checked out the UI Collective myself. Right, they have a very robust set of videos to help you learn design system from tokens to variables and how to set up your system, how to build on existing systems, right? So UI Collective does that for you. So before you pay for any design system course, please make sure to check these guys out because they may have what you're going to pay to learn, right? So yeah. So
Exactly.
for me, I have a couple of things to share. So I'm going to also take over now and share my screen. So Raphael, just give me, let me share, guys. So I'm going
Sure.
to show you So I have a number of things to share. I think I may just go straight up to share them with you guys. So well, so what I'm going to share, some of you may have this resource already. So if you have it already, awesome. But if you do not have it, right, this is going to be an opportunity for you to learn about it. So I have quite a number of things to share today. The first one here is design system KPI. So I saw this tweet, right? It's been a while though, since well, it's very important. Like, so for designers, you need to know one of the things I ask basically as a designer when I get to speak with juniors and also people who are just getting into design space is how do you measure the success of your design, right? So what that means is, yes, we know as designers you worked on freelance projects, you worked on personal projects, and let's say at the end of the day your product or whatever you worked on did not go live. How do you measure if what you worked on was a success? Because it wasn't built, right, and nobody got to use it. So there should be ways to measure if a design that doesn't go live is successful, and also, even if it went live, how do you measure successful? So I'm going to speak to some of these things here. I think most of these ones speak to products that go live, right? Maybe if we have the time, I'll talk about how you measure success for products or designs that were not even built in the first place. But anyway, so things you see here, like let me speak to time to complete, right? So what that means basically is how long does it take the users to complete a task? So if you are working on a redesign or probably you're improving an existing process, one way you can measure success is if you're able to reduce the time it takes people to complete tasks with the product, with the mobile app, that's is one way you can measure if you did what you did was successful. Time to relevance, I think I've heard somebody call it time to value, right? So when a user comes to use a product, there's a value they want to achieve. It's more like there's something they're looking for. Somebody wants to do a transfer with your app, with your platform. What they're looking to achieve is to ensure that that money, whatever amount they are transferring, gets to somebody on another part of the world. What the value they're looking for. So how long does it take for them to initiate the action down to when the person actually gets the value, the money they are making to transfer? So if you're able to reduce that time, you've succeeded. So there are other things here. We have system stability score. We have also core web vitals. I don't really know what this means, but I think the key ones here are error recovery period. So if a user makes a mistake with a product, how fast are they able to recover and continue the journey they are looking to achieve, right? So that's also something else you want to do. So I'm going to drop a link to this in the chat, and also I'm going to move it over to YouTube. Rafi, can I go on to share the next thing I have, or you have something you want to share?
No, no, it's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me just
But
drop the
like,
link. Okay,
see,
I'll
this
just
thing,
link
this is actually
everything on
really
the chat.
interesting. Sorry, this is actually
Yeah.
really interesting. Do you want me to ask question and comment on this, or you wanna?
Okay, yeah, you can just quickly, yeah.
It's actually really interesting, um, because in the end, we create a design system. Yes, it's good. A lot of times, it's about, you try to unify the language in which the entire company speaks. Right now, you now need to understand that to each of the departments of the company, it means different things. Right, what the design system means to them. Like, so that's why I think it's really interesting that there are KPIs, and it's really important that there are KPIs. Right, so
Yeah, they're key KPIs.
yeah, you can see that it cuts across
And
different.
the interesting thing is, so when it got, okay, let me say something. Sometimes you actually want user to spend long time on a product. Sometimes you want them to spend a short time. So it depends on the product. Let's say, for instance, if you want people to understand your value proposition of what you offer on your website, you actually want them to spend time, right? But if you want them to take action, you want to reduce the time. So at every point in time, you need to know what really is the goal first for you as a business, or like say as a designer, what is the business goal first? Is the business looking for users to understand the value they offer? If that is it, then you should expect them to guide you expect to guide them around the website, not really for them to click or take a particular action. But anyways, before we dabble into another area, so let me move on to the next resource I
I
have
really want to
here
say
for.
something because, but yeah, I really want to say something because you just mentioned something very interesting about how you might want people users to stay longer on a page. Now, a lot of times these days you hear,
Yeah.
oh, how fast is the user going to make the decision? You need to make them make, yes, fine and good, but that's why I really like looking at really well thought out products. There are some products that actually introduce friction for a certain goal. Right now, the average modern designer will go there and say, "Why is this thing taking so long?" But like some of these things are actually done on purpose because there's a reason, right? But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, since I'm having issues with my internet, I'm going to switch over a bit. Okay, I think I'm good now. So let me continue. Yes, so I have another resource here to share. So I'm not going to talk too much about this because AI right now is the buzz, right? So you hardly hear anything on the news or tech space without hearing the word AI. So yeah, so if you want to learn about AI, so there's this resource put together by Google, right? It's the People Plus AI Guidebook. So if you want to learn how to design human-centered AI products, right? So this is a good resource for you to start, define the user needs, how you can define success for your AI product, data model evolution, mental models, and expectations. So these days, so the way now, people are based on the way the market is going or the way products are going right now. AI seems to be doing a lot of things very fast, which means that the expectation of users are going up, right? So you need to people's mental model are shifting. They're expecting things to work really fast when they start interacting your product compared to even maybe the few months ago, right? So I think this is a very good resource to help you learn how to design for AI. So we're also going to share this in the comments.
Can you send the link, please?
Then I think I have, okay, let me just do that right away. So I'm going to leave the link in the chat here. Chat. Okay. So YouTube. So that's the link. And also I think I'm going to also drop the link to this. I think that's the one I just dropped now, yeah. So let me drop the link to this AI guidebook. So we're going to just be talking about a few resources and also share them. Then we have some interesting things to share with you guys. So just hang around. So yeah, the next one I have here it's called so if you are looking to learn UX design, or if you know anybody, somebody walks up to you that I want to become a UX designer, a product designer, how do I start? This is a good place for you to start, right? So share this resource with them. It basically gives an overview of everything they will interact with when they start learning about the product. So let me just click on something. Let's see. It talks about, let me look for one, user stories, for instance. What are user stories? How to write a user story. So it gives you a guide, right? Then also, if you want to create user personas, what are user personas? How do you create them? It gives you again, and also links to articles and deeper resources, even videos on personas, right? That you can watch. Learn how to create personas, UX patterns, what are call to actions, status reports. Let me look for one thing that's quite popular, the person to know. Figma, yes. If you want to learn how to use Figma, right? So this is very good. So there's this essential UI essentials course that you can follow. So basically, it gives you an overview of things you need to know or be aware of if you start designing. Then of course, it leads you to deeper resources that can take you deeper and make you better as you design. So I'm also going to drop a link to this. Then I have one more. Is it one or two more? I think one more basically. So I have cognitive biases in user behavior. All right, so I'm going to
But
briefly
before
talk
you move
about it. So
on,
let me drop the link to this. Mm-hmm.
can you hear me? Before you move on,
Yep.
you like bringing up that previous you bringing up that previous resource just reminded me of something that really helped me back then. And it's something that
Okay.
we like beginners actually tend to miss, right? In fact, even till now, I still go back to use that resource to check it. It's called laws of UX, right? So there are laws of
Yeah.
UX. There's different
I
ones.
think there's a
Aesthetic
website like that.
utility, value.
Laws
Sorry.
of UX. I think there's a
Yeah,
website for it.
there's a website. There's a website for it. So I'm gonna drop the link.
Yeah, Laws of
Right. It's
UX.
actually really good. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it gives all the teachings about the different laws, liberty threshold, cognitive overload, everything. And it's really important that as especially if you're not starting out, it's really important. If I even sometimes I still go back and check it from time to time. It helps it helps guide decision making as a designer. So it's not even going to be, it's not random at all, right? So that's one of the state that yeah.
Okay.
Hi, it seems we have lost Kutaje. Okay, let me see if there's a. Close, can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost Kaji for now. Anyways, I don't know if I should go on a random round and next and talk about some interesting things that have happened today. What is working and that work. Anyways,
Yeah, Raphael, I'm back now.
okay, cool, cool.
Yeah, so my internet, I had to switch. I don't know. We don't have control over the internet connection, so just have to switch when we need to. Yeah, so a lot of UX. Let me go back to sharing my screen. I'm so sorry, guys. So I think that's about okay. So I was talking about the cognitive. So if you have any questions, any comments, I don't know if I can pull up YouTube or LinkedIn right now. But if you have any questions or any comments, you can just leave it and we're going to look at it. Then also there's also this cognitive biases and user behavior, right? So this is very important. Like so, as designers, we talk about psychology, understanding users' behavior and everything, but I know some of those things are just based on do I say vibes? Because you actually need to understand the context in which people use your product, how they think, and sometimes you just basically need to know that people are humans generally. They get angry, they get frustrated, and they are going to transfer those things to your product. So imagine somebody very angry, being frustrated, and they open your app and your app is hanging or probably just misbehaving. Right, so that's going to affect how they would rate or what's called value your product. So there are things like framing effect, and this anchoring bias is very important, right? So let me just read. So it tends to rely heavily on one piece of information when making decision usually. So this basically talks about like first impressions, right? So when people use a product, they make an impression about your product, and they tend to hold on to something like that, and they bring that mindset whenever they are interacting with other parts of the product, right? So in the number of effects, they will have decoy effect, ambiguity effects, but I'm not going to go deep into this. So you can just come here and explore. There's a PDF, and also there are other things you can explore here, right? So it's under UX hints. There's accessibility, there's design documentation, design process, typography. They also have UX laws here also. So I'm going to drop this in the chat. I'm not sure if this is going over to YouTube or LinkedIn right now, so drop them in the chat, but I'm going to look for a way to check.
No, we're on YouTube. I can see us on YouTube. So I'm pretty
Like
sure we're
I'm
on
asking
LinkedIn as well.
if the comments, like these things we're sharing, are they going to the comments on YouTube?
Oh no, no, they're not. They aren't.
Okay, so I think what we'll do, no, I'm not going to wait till we do the descriptions before we share this. We're going to have this in the comments. Everything is going to be part of the description. But I think that's all I have to share for now. We have other things we want to talk about, right? So Oscar Fest is coming up. There are goodies that people have been giving, have been sharing, and also giving away in the Twitter space. So if you are, I don't know if you know about Oscar, but Oscar is it's a design, not design conference, sorry, it's an open source conference that happens yearly, right? And it's happening in Lagos, Nigeria, one of the biggest open source conferences in Africa. So a number of giveaways that is available right now. If you are interested in going for Oscar Fest, I'm not going to share my screen and show you, but if you know what Oscar Fest is, Untitled Designers on UDC, they are giving away 50% off. So if you want to get that discount, right? I think I'm going to. I don't know how to do this now, but just go look for time to designers. Probably you can send us a message. Then we're going to send you a link to join the community. It's only for community members, basically. So if you are not part of Untitled Design conference community, you cannot get the 50% discount. So that's it for Oscar Fest. Yeah. So resources out of the way. We have some very interesting topics to talk about. Raphael, you want to go first or you want me to go first? I have two topics I want to talk about. Let me just give hints. One, first off, so Dribo blocked the account of a popular designer, and the guy is planning to go build his own Dribble competition. Number two, somebody posted something on LinkedIn about the fact that people just mindlessly praise and give likes to designs on Twitter without critically analyzing and giving feedback that will actually help whoever made the design go. So I won't talk about those two things, but I don't know, Raphael, if you have anything to share first.
No, 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 no. It's fine. I wanted to talk about design systems, but I'm so sorry. What you just mentioned is really more interesting. I want to talk about the second thing. The second thing you mentioned.
Okay, so let's go to
I want to
yellow.
talk about the second thing you mentioned.
Okay. So we have this. So this guy, Sir John Islam, posted on LinkedIn. Says, so I'm going to read out. I know you guys can see, but I'm going to read out. It says, "This is why the design industry quality is dropping." This is last night when he posted this on X. So I get post a landing page UI design trash execution according to him only, right? So basically, out you have somehow 100 plus comments, 3K plus likes. Let's be real. Say you are not praising the work. You are praising the girl who posted it. And when you do that, you know what the standard of design for the industry. Juniors see it, other people see it, they copy it, and suddenly mediocrity becomes the standard goal, right? So, yeah, so the guy is just basically ranting that people tend to just give likes, comments. I know there are different sides to this because I understand where it's coming from, but I also know that people are quite mindful not to shatter the ego. Not really ego, basically. There's a way you want to give feedback so that you don't make the person feel like they didn't do well. But I'll leave Raphael. I don't know, Raphael, over to you first before I just share my 2 cents on
Yes,
this.
yeah, I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say about this.
Please
All right.
don't say everything here. Just have a lot to say.
Don't worry, don't worry. I'm gonna be civil. I'm gonna be civil.
Okay.
So first of all, I don't think so. I understand how he's on the rant here, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But him calling our work trash and trash, saying that it's trash execution, basic layout, it just seems like he's lashing out. Feedback should be, especially on platforms like these, and somebody that is supposedly senior, right, in the industry. Feedback should always come from a positive place. You want the person to grow. Now, I understand why he's saying this. I understand why he was saying this here. Maybe on a normal day, that's not how he would give feedback, or he would give feedback, or he would give feedback. But he was probably angry with it, and rightfully so. A lot of times you come on X,
So Raphael, I can't hear
we
you.
tend to we
Okay.
tend to
I can
we
hear you
tend
now.
to yeah. So sometimes we tend to be less than truthful, and I'm trying to filter my words, but we tend to be less than truthful because there's so many times we know that this is not that good, right? It's not as good as we want it to be. There could be a lot of things that could be improved, right? And now what really gets me mad is when somebody actually has should I say somebody actually gives feedback, right? And they start calling the person a hater, or you don't talk about people's work like that, or you don't. And I'm like, you don't. I don't understand. Like I've seen this happen way too much, especially in Nigeria. I mean, I'm on Nigeria a lot. Sorry, X, Nigeria X a lot, right? And it just really pains me because even I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's been a minute since I posted my work on X, and that's partly because time is today. But I'm looking to do that more often now, right? I'm always open to feedback, no matter what. Even within my organization, I'm always like, posting and saying, "Hi guys, can you quickly give me feedback?" No feedback is bad, except it's coming from me. It's like it's negative feedback, and sometimes it's inevitable. Some people do not, like this guy now. Some people do not know how to filter their words, or you know. Now that's a them problem, right? That's their problem. You shouldn't take it too personal, although sometimes you might. But I feel like that's that person's problem, that they do not communicate properly and from a constructive manner, right? That's their problem. But feedback always serves to help the person grow, the designer grow. Without feedback, you cannot grow. It's just what it is. You cannot grow. There was a problem that I was trying to solve for I think that was I think this was actually just last month, and I think I spoke about this before, right? And then I had to go back to the drawing board and everything. It's just as if I wasn't like sharing before, but this time when I was not building, I was actually working with another designer, like working on it like step all through. I didn't mind collaborating. Let's see how we can solve this problem. And we got on it. It was more or less like a whiteboard session. We came online. We worked together because we got feedback, and feedback was like coming, and we just like, it was actually a really amazing session and everything, and we solved it. Like we came up with something that was great. Now there are other times when I can share to even Kutaje said sometimes that's giving me like feedback on my work, like That's how it should be. I don't see a reason why somebody gives you feedback and says, "Oh, your work is not as great, or it's not up to par, or is this is bad, or this is," because it happens a lot. It happens a lot. You see people, "Oh, great, you're doing so well," even from seniors, and they're like, I don't even think people actually read or see the work anymore. They just like copy and paste from a library of um, positive reviews. Like, I feel like we should actually be more real. Um, as far as you have the right mindsets in mind when giving this feedback, I don't think you're doing anything wrong, right? Especially if you're actually giving good. I don't think you're doing anything wrong. But the way we tend to make it seem these days that once you're giving feedback, you have to be perfect. As far as you have the right once you're giving feedback, and then you have to be
Okay, I don't know. I can't hear you after. I don't know if you were okay. You're back now. Are you back now?
yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
I
Okay.
hope
So
I
I
was
heard
not
you.
breaking too much.
No, you. I think I heard it to a good extent was towards the end, but I think yeah. So I think you're coming from the position of giving feedback gracefully. I don't know, but I personally think that so there are different ways we can look at this, right? So from a Twitter perspective, and people you can't give what you don't have basically. What that means is that people give feedback based on their level of understanding. What that means is that whoever is somebody may be giving well, first of all on Twitter is like a street. What that means is that you don't know who is who. So don't be surprised that lots of those comments are coming. If we may be a junior designer who did this work, and lots of those comments will be coming from fellow junior designers who, to them, that design looks good,
It actually looks cool.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it may not really be. There are different ways you can. It may not really be people just saying that okay, they just want to make the lady or the girl looks make her feel better. It may be somebody who actually sees the design, but their eye for design has not been trained enough, and they think that that looks good, and they're giving feedback. So I don't know, but I think that there needs to be a way to
Oh,
give
but
people. There needs to be a structure to
yeah,
give people feedback. I don't know how that, but on
yeah.
Twitter you can't really guarantee who's giving feedback. You don't know that level of. I think I saw one tweet where somebody posted a design, so it was a graphic design, and the guy posted the work that this was what his mentee did, and this is what he did. So he saw the mentee's work. Yeah, according to him, he was mentoring somebody in graphic design. So the mentee did a work, did a graphic design poster. He gave feedback and he did a redesign. And to be honest, the mentee's design was actually better than the mentor's design. So
I think I remember
on
that.
comment, they were commenting that people were like, "Oh, I know, go like give you actually prefer your mentee's design than your own."
I remember that thing was so funny.
So the thing
Bro,
is,
you know what's crazy? When I saw that tweet, I saw that tweet and I was like, ah. But I was wondering who the mentee's work was and who the mentor's work was. I was out for a second. Oh, why is the network so? Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so for a minute, I'm not going to lie. When I first saw that, I was thinking that the mentee's work was the mentor's work because I was wondering that
So
what is happening?
there are basically different ways to look at it. I think somebody needs to build a platform. I don't know if communities do that. Sha. Communities do that, right? Like so, I'm part of the Untitled Design community. I'm part of the Friends of Figma community for Lagos, and also Benin City, other design communities where people post their work and they get feedback, right? So they will have seniors in the
Yeah.
group who give feedback. You know, so I think some people still give feedback, but there needs to be way because I understand sometimes it may also be seniors giving some of this feedback. They may just give a like. I've noticed that sometimes when I like stuff, it doesn't mean I like the whatever I'm like. I give it thumbs up. I may be liking stuff because I want to have it as my likes, so I can easily come back. Like I saw something, I liked it. Let me go there without having to save it, right? So people may like stuff without actually liking it, but there needs to be a better way to give people feedback so that actually it's constructive and they are growing, right? So yeah, I just talk about this. Then over to the one, I don't know, Raphael, you seem to be frozen right now. And also I think it's same on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to move over to the one for the dribble guy. The Raphael is back. I think we have a few minutes for quality wrap, and we have two big announcements for you guys before we go off for today's stream. All right, so yeah, so was it last week or two? A designer on Twitter posted that I think Gleb, yeah, Kuznetsov, his account was deleted because he violated Dribble's rules, right? So Dribble is pivoting, right, and they had made some adjustments. So they are looking towards monetizing beyond just the subscription model. They want to be able to make more money from people who use Dribble to get clients, right? And they basically want that. According to, I read an article basically on TechCrunch where they said they warned him a number of times, but he ignored it and eventually still. So more like, I think it's Upwork, or there's a platform that does this where you cannot share certain information in the chat with your clients. That's to go through the platform so that they're able to get their commission. But anyways, they basically closed blocked his account, and he's saying that he's going to start a competition to Dribble. According to him, he's gotten some interest from investors and whatnot. But we're looking to see how that unfolds, and if eventually is able to kill Dribble. I do not believe that, but let's see how it goes. I think one of my favorite platform also folded up this year. That should be Up Labs. I don't know how many of us know Up Labs, but there was this platform where every week there's always a design challenge that they would post. Maybe if you design for Facebook, if you design for Reddit, and there's a prize for those who win. So I missed that from Up Labs. I don't know if any other platform is going to be able to replicate that, but yeah, I think this is the lot we have to share for today. So I just checked on YouTube and I see that the resources we shared, they are on YouTube. And I'm going to check on LinkedIn if the resources we talked about and the ones we dropped, if they are also on the comments on LinkedIn. So please we hope you find those resources useful. We're going to keep sharing more resources and talking about stuff every time we come live in our catch up. Yeah, so I said we have two big announcements. One, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I think I'm done with this. So I have two big announcements for everybody. Yeah. So number one is that we are moving catch up to Twitter. So we're going to be moving catch up to X. Sorry, to not Twitter, not Twitter, X. So we're moving catch up with Designery to X, right? So that we're going to have the opportunity to engage live with designers even as we share, and also people can join in who are already tweeting or already on Twitter. So we're going to move. We're no longer going to be on YouTube. We are going to be, as from next week, we're going to be having a catch up weekly, same time, Wednesday, 8 p.m. West African time, GMT plus one, but it's going to be on Twitter Space. So look forward to the announcement, look forward to the schedule, and also we're going to ping you so you can join in. Then also, our first live design session is happening this Saturday, right? So today is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. In 3 days, we are going to be having our first live design session. So we are bringing the designer who's going to come here live, take a brief, and design a logo, right, for a brand, right? So it's going to share his thoughts out loud. It's going to show you his process. So you're going to learn, if you are somebody who's looking to learn how to design logos, or you're looking to get started with brand identity designs, we are bringing somebody who's going to unveil the curtain, taking behind the scene, and actually walk you through how they go about logo design. You can ask them questions, how they get inspirations and whatnot. But we're not stopping there. So every Saturday after now, we're going to take that same brief from logo design, brand identity design. We're going to move into actual product design. So it's a fashion product. We're first of all creating an identity for the brand. Then we're going to move on to design a website for the brand, which means it's going to involve product design, UI, UX design. So myself and Raphael were going to handle that bit. But for the one on Saturday, we have a brand identity designer who's going to handle that session. So stay tuned. It most likely is going to happen by 12 p.m. on a Saturday, but stay tuned to our LinkedIn, all our social media channels for announcements on that. And we have a lot in stuff for you guys. So yeah, remember what I said earlier. So if you are going for not untitled, sorry, if you are going for Oscar Fest, it's starting tomorrow, Friday, Saturday. Untitled designers, they're giving away 50% for community members. So if you want to join the Untitled Design community, you are not part of it, message me on LinkedIn or drop a comment on YouTube. I'm going to send you a link or help you get into the community so you can get that 50% discount to go attend the Open Source Conference Africa 2025. So see you guys next week, or basically see you guys on Saturday by 12 p.m. Till next time, peace out.